get you the next conversation, really. Anchit Nair is Executive Director and CEO Beauty at Nykaa, a phase that you don't see very often, sort of on media. Now, Nykaa is planning to open 40 to 60 stores every year, and a lot of these stores will come from smaller towns. My colleague Shilpa Ranipeta caught up with Anchit, began by asking him about the growth trajectory for the company. Listen to a slice of that conversation.
If you look 5 years ahead, by 2028, this market is expected to be roughly a $35 billion market. And online will contribute to roughly a third of that. And the remainder will be coming from the offline channels. So the category as a whole is growing at roughly 10 to 12% CAGR over the next 5 years. And this is the fastest growing BPC market in the world. Now, if I also add to that a layer of a per capita spend, if you look at it in India today, the average Indian spends roughly $15 US on beauty and personal care. 1.5. That is the lowest per capita spend in the world. So we always see this as we're in the earliest of innings in terms of our beauty and personal care consumption in India. This is a multi-decade growth story. And I think Nykaa, who plays a large role in growing this market. We have 200 stores across 70 cities. And we have 25 million plus customers on Nykaa app who are shopping from pretty much every pin code in India. So we've brought beauty to the doorstep of these smaller towns, and we've made it a lot more accessible and convenient for them to get the best global brands at the click of a button.
Right.
And I think that is also what has led to this accelerated growth in demand, even from the tier 2, tier 3 towns.
But how much then, I mean, how big is that tier 2, tier 3 town pie for you, both from an offline perspective and online? And offline, I mean, when you go to add more stores also, how seriously are you looking at that pie?
Yeah. We see a massive opportunity in these smaller towns. I think historically we've disclosed that 60% of our business comes from tier 2 and beyond. And that number has stayed relatively constant, but because tier 1 is also growing nicely. See, as I said in the beginning of our interview, that consumption in India is low in general. Even in tier 1 towns, the consumption is much below where it could be. So all tier 1, 2 and 3 cities are growing in terms of their awareness for this category as well as their consumption for this category. In terms of physical retail, as I said, we're across 70 cities today, and the plan is to get to about 400 stores across 100 cities over the next several years. So we're halfway there, exactly halfway there. If you look at our retail expansion, we opened 100 stores in the first 7-8 years of Nykaa's journey. In the last 2 to 3 years, we've doubled that. We've opened another 100 stores. And if I look ahead, we've said that about you'll see about 40 to 60 stores over the next several years, every year. And a lot of these will come from smaller towns because now we're quite well penetrated in the larger metros.
Right. And you know, I want to talk about categories. That was another interesting thing. So in the report, it said skincare, makeup, hair care, fragrance are the fastest growing categories currently. Are these the fastest growing categories for Nykaa as well? And I just sort of want to understand the kind of growth that you've seen in these, and how are you then playing to these categories? Is fragrance one breakout opportunity that is there for you as well?
So for us, makeup and skin have always been large categories. Fragrance is a unique opportunity for us because Nykaa is seen by the consumer as a trustworthy platform. A lot of horizontal marketplaces in India are open marketplaces. And therefore, the authenticity of the product that is being sold can never be guaranteed.
Right.
Whereas us, Nykaa, as a inventory-led model, we are buying directly from the brands. And so the product which we retail on our platform is 100% authentic. And I think that is an important peg, especially when selling high ASP items like fragrances.
Right. I mean, how do you see the mix between these categories then going forward? I'm talking about the sales mix.
Yeah, so I mean, makeup, I would tell you pre-pandemic, makeup was 60% plus of our overall business. Today, it's a third of our business. Skincare has been the big standout over the past 5 years.
Yeah. And, you know, given the opportunity that you've outlined in the report that's there for growth in the beauty market, how do you see the average basket size per order then now growing, going ahead in the medium term?
The baskets at the repeat customer is growing with every subsequent purchase. And that is the beauty of a platform like ours. We're able to, through education, through content, through assortment, continue to increase the size of the basket of our repeat customers. New customers, on the other hand, are new to the platform. And in many cases, they're new to the world of beauty. So their basket size might be slightly smaller than that of a repeat customer. But that's where the Nykaa magic kicks in. That's where, once they've made their first purchase, we're able to really influence them, to drive them to buy more items with every subsequent transaction. So the average basket size of repeat customers is growing nicely, average basket size of new customers is growing nicely, but at a consolidated level, it's an output of how many new customers versus repeat customers are shopping on the platform.
Okay.
So 80% of our business comes from repeat customers. That being said, we acquire millions and millions of new customers every year. But that just goes to show you that how deeply penetrated the repeat customers are.
Right.
So it's a very healthy mix. If you look at our business, having a strong repeat base of consumers and at the same time acquiring millions of new customers, is a very healthy mix.
Right.
So yes, to answer your question, ABS is increasing for both customer segments.
Right. Fair enough. And the other very interesting piece I want to talk about is prestige beauty, something that's also addressed in the report. Can you sort of tell me currently what's the landscape in India when it comes to prestige beauty brands? Nykaa has brought in a lot of brands globally. How are global brands looking at India? What's the sense that you get? And many have come to India. How has the growth of those brands been? And then going down the line, can we expect more partnerships?
The competition is heating up for prestige, and on top of that, Nykaa is bringing a lot of prestige brands. So yes, over the next decade, we see prestige beauty as growing much faster than the rest of the category. So that's where a lot of growth will come
from a sales mix,
from.
how much do prestige brands bring in for you currently? And you didn't touch upon more partnerships in the pipeline.
So, again, this is something which we've disclosed in the past, so I can only refer you to the numbers we've disclosed in the past, which is roughly 15 to 20% of our business comes from prestige brands.
Okay.
By value. So it's a significant share, and it's growing faster than the platform. Over the past several months, we launched brands that you saw on the platform, whether it be Fenty Beauty, as I said, YSL also launched with us exclusively, YSL Makeup from L'Oreal. Urban Decay was another brand which we bought in, Sol de Janeiro. And now, we don't like to obviously disclose which brands are coming, but you will see some also launching very, very soon.
All right. Well, that was Nykaa.